What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
South Carolina has been the talk of the season early on. They have been dominating the competition. They are preseason number one, current AP number one, and they just pulled off the biggest victory of any team in the country over a top 15 ranked UNC squad, beat them by double digits. Now, Don Staley has multiple players, noticeably so Raven Johnson, Breezy Hall, Sania Feagin, three vets from the returning championship team last year that have been off to a slow start. Most notably, Raven Johnson. Now, we know that she's continued to start at point guard and, do her point guard due diligence. She's getting assists, she's getting rebounds, she's picking pockets, but she's shooting a career low in field goal percentage. She just hasn't been playing the same level that we've grown accustomed to see her playing last year when she was on her revenge tour. Breezy Hall, 3-point percentage down. Sania Feagin, numbers down as well. And Coach Don Staley kind of expressed how in past years when her players become WNBA eligible, they become a bit distracted and start to force the issue.
It's, sometimes it happens. I do know that this is a real thing. When we have our WNBA eligible players, sometimes it happens during the season at some point. It hasn't happened this early. And maybe that's not what they're thinking about, but I'm sure they are thinking about it. And it makes you press, and it gets you out of, your normal routine of focusing on the game. Your focus becomes something else, and then the things that you do well aren't up to par. So, it's conversations. It is. They understand it, but you really can't control it. So we just have to try our best to get them back into their habits and let them know that, and show them the film and let them know that, again, the least of their worries is scoring. If you can defend, if you can blend in, if you can make good decisions, sometimes making good decisions is just playing most conservatively. Don't try to force the issue. Let me just pass it off and let me stand over here. Shot comes, let me shoot my normal routine and technique. Hit it. You look good. But, that simple part of the game escapes them because they feel like they have to do something. And it's just being a competitor. We're in the game to impress. We're in the game to do something that makes us feel good. And to showcase our talent, but you got to know when it's not working out. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried about them at all.
Now, on the year, Raven Johnson, you look at her numbers from last year, she was averaging 8, 5, and 5, basically. This year, she's averaging 2 points. The rebounds are up at 6.7. The assists have been cut in half. The steals are down. And the field goal percentage, she went from shooting 44.3% from the field to 12.5%. Now, when I mentioned Raven Johnson not being at the same level we saw her last year, this is what I was saying, man. She just hasn't had that same pop, that same flair, and her shot has just not been falling. It's completely broken, and they're going to need her return to that level if they want to repeat as national champions and go undefeated again, man. Even if they don't go undefeated, if they want to repeat as national champions, they need Raven Johnson back in her bag. She hasn't played bad, but the assists are way down, and maybe you can attribute that to the loss of Camila Cardoso, who a lot of those assists, a lot of those lob passes, a lot of those entry passes and transition passes that Raven Johnson was getting last season are not there, and her assists have absolutely suffered. She continues to remain the starting point guard for this group, but Malaysia Wiley seems like she's gaining traction. She has been incredible the last 2 games. She tied the team high in assists against North Carolina and proven that she can be that lead floor general when she's counted on. Are they holding Malaysia Fulwiley back despite the struggles of Raven Johnson? Will it hinder this team? I think that's something to look at. Another starter, the starting backcourt, another starter, Breezy Hall's three-point shooting, who was tremendous last season, a big boost for this group, made major shots, especially when you think about the national championship game and how she closed out LSU in that game as well at LSU. The numbers have been down, though. The defense has been solid. The three-point shooting ability has not been there this season. She's down on numbers as well. On the year, last season, look at it. Hall averaged 9.2 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. The points are down. The rebounds are up for her and Raven Johnson, but the points are down by 3. The assists are down, as well as the three-point shooting is absolutely down as well. So last year from the field, she shot 44% from the field. She's shooting 36.8% from the field right now. The three-point field goal percentage is her second worst of her career since her freshman year. She's shooting 33.3% from the field. You like that she's shooting 100% from free throws, but you look at it, man, the three-point shooting is down tremendously, over 5% from last season. The shots are not falling, and it's not like she's not getting open looks, but you have another player that could be eligible for the WNBA draft that maybe Dawn feels like she's forcing the issue as well. But straight up, the starting backcourt other than Tahina Paopao has not been as productive as last season. Now, we're seeing it. We're seeing Malaysia Fulwiley become the best guard on this roster, and it's going to be hard to keep her off the court from this starting lineup, in my opinion. No disrespect to Raven. It's still very early. Breezy Hall not really offering a lot to this starting lineup right now. They rely on her 3 and D, and now they have a player like Joyce Edwards who can play that role if need be. They got Tessa Johnson as well, who's going to be logging in some minutes when she comes back from the ankle injury. Maddie McDaniel is into the rotation as well and has looked more aggressive than Raven or Breezy Hall as well in the backcourt. So, something to monitor there. Could we see a shift in this backcourt? Could we see Coach Dawn Staley switch some things up? Now, they're winning, so, maybe not overthinking it. Maybe, don't fix it if it's not broken, but are they playing their best 5 players right now? And then on the other end, Sania Feagin, another starter who was looking at, a bigger role this year with Ashlyn Watkins out, with the departure of Camila Cardosa. We saw Sania Feagin get more minutes last year. This year, really, defensively she's blocking shots, she's rebounding, but has not been a reliable low post scoring option for this group. On the year, Sania Feagin's playing the most minutes she's ever played. 16 minutes a game. She started all 3 games. She's averaging 4 points per game, which is down from 6.7 points last year. Rebounding is down 0.1. The assists are down as well. But the blocks, major improvement. She's more than doubled her blocks. She's been a really specimen. She's been really, really productive on the defensive end, blocking shots, bothering shots, and plugging up the paint. So I got to give her credit for that. But the scoring is down. Field goal percentage is down, and she's missed a lot of bunnies when they've tried to go down low to her when she's had mismatches. They're going to need her to be more efficient as well in these contests for them to move forward. And I know they have a deep front court. Chloe Kitts is killing. Most improved player on this team. She's leading the team in scoring, rebounding. She's been dominant. You get Ashlyn Watkins back, who's still, being acclimated. Miriam Dowda could be an X factor for this group as well, but they're going to need Sania Feagin to be that low block scorer for them and use her size and her ability to not only impact the defensive end, which she has been doing, but also to score the basketball and stop missing these layups off these dump-offs, because these guards command so much attention. Do we see Ashlyn Watkins inserted into this starting lineup at the 5 instead as the season goes along? I think we definitely could see some shifts in the starting lineup based on Coach Dawn Staley's strategy of riding the hot hand, and if you're performing, you're going to be on the court. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Holler at me. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff, and follow us on all social media at Brandon Lee TV. Till next time, we out.